Here are your Court News Ohio top stories in 5 minutes. The Ohio Supreme Court will hear a case between a health center and patient clashing over the need to pursue a sexual assault claim against a doctor before she can sue the hospital. The case stems from a 2012 incident where the victim was given pain medication in an Akron emergency room, then claimed the examining doctor sexually assaulted her. 2 years later, the woman sued the hospital for negligence. The woman didn't lodge a civil suit against the doctor, who was also never criminally charged. The central argument is a 1998 Supreme Court ruling that stated an employee's individual liability also has to be assessed in a negligence accusation against an employer. Citing that court ruling, the hospital and supporting employer groups maintain that decision means there must be a judgment against the employee before the employer can be sued. The woman's stance is backed by advocates for employees and injury victims. They claim a judgment against the offending employee isn't necessary as long as there are grounds to pursue the employee's wrongdoing. There are numerous career paths for people to pursue in the legal profession.
Be a career prosecutor.
Hopefully be a guardian ad litem and represent kids who have been abused, neglected, and dependent.
In order to achieve those goals, prospective attorneys have one final hurdle.
We are now ready to begin the afternoon session of the multi-state bar examination.
Behind the buildup, there's almost always encouragement from family.
Especially my husband, who's supported me through all of this. And then my dad, he passed away when I was in high school, but he's always been my inspiration to follow my dreams.
For some, passing the bar exam is a way to carry on a legacy. For others, it's a way to provide for their own household.
I have a wife and a 2-year-old, so I would go home. I would study the law school, and if I ever need a break, I'd go home and wrestle with my 2-year-old boy or hang out with my wife.
It takes years of prep to answer 3 days worth of questions. And just like the exam, life can present the unexpected.
Right before I took the bar the last time, both of my parents, they were diagnosed with cancer at the same time. And that was rough.
Fortunately for Jessica Camargo, nearly 2 years later, her father is in remission and her mom is still fighting. With testing over, she hopes to provide her loved ones with another positive result when the bar's successful applicants are announced on May 1st.
It'll be pretty emotional because it's been a really tough journey to get from where I started to where I am, and I'll probably cry. I'll cry.
Thousands of students come to the Thomas J. Moyer Ohio Judicial Center every year. On this day, the featured visitors are teachers.
I remember the teachers to this day that were impressive, that I knew what they were talking about, and I knew that they wanted me to know and grow and learn.
Recently, more than 20 educators came to the home of the state Supreme Court to learn more about it through a program known as Ohio Government in Action.
So it's an opportunity for teachers to really have a hands-on experience with state government to hopefully enrich the lessons that they take back to their students.
Organized by the Ohio Center for Law-Related Education, the 2-day conference gives visiting faculty firsthand experience on how the judicial, legislative, and executive branches operate.
Young people are naturally interested in the law and how it works, differences between right and wrong, should laws be changed or challenged.
A major emphasis of the curriculum was how to make history topical and conversational. Instead of just rehashing facts, the focus should be on analyzing actions. This creates more perspective and discussion where not every answer is right or wrong.
So you teach them that process, and the very first time you do it, it may be one grid, one source.
I find that it's really valuable to make sure that they are thinking for themselves and getting the right information for whatever their viewpoint might be.
The impact of civic education can be felt for generations. That's because a teacher's inspiration can drive students in any number of directions, be it as a citizen or even a future Chief Justice.
To be that kind of a role model, to be that kind of adult in the lives of students, I think is priceless.
And that's a look at Court News Ohio's top stories. Visit courtnewsohio.gov for the latest headlines on Ohio's courts. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.